Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back with another YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing some ladder using Pompeyo's deck. So if you guys don't know who Pompeyo is, he's a really good player from Mexico who has multiple #1 finishes with this exact deck you guys see here. And what's crazy is this deck has been viable for about 4 years. I think before the Goblin Cage was out, he just used Tombstone instead of the Goblin Cage, but now Goblin Cage, ever since that came out as a card. But he's used this balloon deck and finished, I think, #1 5 times with it. Absolutely insane, which means it's pretty much viable in every meta if you play it well. I don't think I've ever made a video on this deck, which is why I wanted to. You have good defense, you have the Goblin Cage and the Inferno Drag. You also have a fairly fast cycle, 3.4 average elixir, which means you can apply pressure whenever you need to, whether you're going in for Ice Golem Balloon, Minor Balloon, or sometimes just even sending the balloon by itself. Fireball and Zap are really good spells to pair well with the balloon. You can use Fireball to push back air counters away from your balloon, and you have Zap for, Inferno Drags or Inferno Tower, or it's just nice to have or a set. Before we get in the first game, if you guys want to support me, you can use my creator code BOSS. You can use it in any Supercell game. Help support me, help support the channel, and I really appreciate all you guys who use my code. It means a lot. So I'm currently at 5,949 trophies, 1,017th in the world right now. Let's go ahead and search for the first game. Try to push up with Pompeyo's deck. Alright guys, so we found our first game. Give this guy the good luck, and usually you can make the first play with this deck. I think the best starting play is Goblin Cage. I think it's a pretty safe play. It forces a response out of your opponent, and it looks like he's going to go for a mortar. I'm going to go for a balloon to take out this mortar. It's going to force another response out of him. He's going to go for a hunter. So not an amazing sign, the fact that we see hunter as well as mortar, knowing that Hunter's actually a pretty good counter to the balloon, I would say. But let's go for a miner to redirect the hunter. And we'll see what the rest of his deck is. He might be using Mortar Graveyard. We'll have to see. I could potentially go for an Inferno Drag on his... Yeah, let's go for an Inferno Drag. And he's actually going to go ahead and play a hunter, which I think is fine. We'll go for a Goblin Cage. So yeah, he just used a lot of elixir. He went for 8 actually. So I could have, if I had an Ice Golem in cycle, I probably would have ignored the hunter and just gone Ice Golem Balloon in the opposite lane, but unfortunately I didn't. I guess in this case we'll still go for a balloon because his mortar and his hunter's out of rotation. He's going to go for his Inferno Drag. So let's get a Zap ready right now. So in this way we redirect it, get the balloon to the tower. It ends up getting a couple hits. Really nice Ice Golem here. It's going to end up finishing off the miner as well as killing the skeletons he placed behind it as well. So he should definitely not take the tower here, but he is going to get a lot of damage. But honestly, I would say a decent situation for us. We ended up getting a huge chunk of his tower. Even though he had a huge lead early on, he's only ahead by a few hundred damage now, so definitely fine by me. Let's see how he chooses to defend this Inferno Drag. Looks like he's just going to go for his own. They're almost going to cancel each other out. I don't think his is going to get any damage on our end now. Let's just go for a Goblin Cage. And he hasn't even... So he's just going to go for a miner. Looks like, yeah, he doesn't have a graveyard. I thought maybe it was Mortar Graveyard, but I think he's just using like a miner deck. Let's go for a miner. Balloon push here. I'm going to go for a Fireball. Nice. The mortar ends up shooting our miner that we played on his tower. Let's go for... I tried to catch the miner. We didn't end up catching it, unfortunately, but he ends up not being able to defend the balloon, so honestly, great situation for us right now. He still has to commit elixir to take our tower. He probably needs to go for some kind of spell, or he's going to have to cycle back to a miner. So yeah, poison does come down. Let's go apply pressure right now, knowing that he just used poison and he's pretty low on elixir. We can actually go for a Fireball on top of the hunter. Let's go for a Zap on top of it as well. He's going to need to play something. I don't think he can stop that balloon. Balloon should get a connection here. His Inferno Drag is going to die as well. So we already took out half of his second tower, which is great. So we started this game out really badly, but you can see we ended up adjusting really nicely, and now we're pretty much in the driver's seat, and as long as I don't make a major mistake, we should be fine. I'm going to take this Fireball. We should be able to finish off this hunter and almost kill the miner, so good value for us as well as hitting the tower. And let's go ahead and keep up the pressure because he just used a hunter, so he doesn't have that in rotation. We are going to go for a goblin cage, though, so this mortar doesn't lock on our tower. I think at this point I might just start playing this a little bit passively because we have a huge lead on his tower, so I feel like there's really no need to, you know, rush into things and be overly aggressive, which could cause us to end up, you know, choking the game if we're not careful. So I think we could just, well, now that we're in triple, I changed my mind a little bit. We're going to be a little aggressive just because I have so much elixir. I mean, I don't even know what to do with it all. So I have to be at least somewhat aggressive, especially when it's triple. So I'm just going to go in for a miner again. I'm actually going to go ahead and send another balloon. Let's go for a zap on his Inferno Drag and just try to get as much damage on his tower as we can. So balloon gets death damage. Fireball will finish off the game. That is going to be GG. Nice win there. Honestly, not too bad of a matchup. I think if he ended up having Graveyard, it would have been a little harder because with this deck, you don't have a ton of Graveyard answers, but what you can do is you can block the bridge with like your 847. Now let's keep going. So what I was going to say is you can block the bridge with stuff like, you know, your Ice Golem, your Goblin Cage, so that way the Graveyard player support cards don't end up crossing over the bridge. And that's something Pompeyo does a lot versus Graveyard decks. Because it can be hard, really hard with this deck to defend Graveyard pushes if they have support cards tanking. So we're going to go ahead and play a Goblin Cage for this hog. I'm going to zap the skeleton so that way the brawler doesn't get distracted. And he's got bats. Okay, so bats, that's the first air counter we see. I'm sure he's got another. Bats, I don't mind seeing because we have a zap for those, so we got a direct answer. We'll see if he's got maybe like a musketeer, firecracker, something like that. He's going to cycle his Ice Golem. So we'll go Inferno Drag. And he's going to have a princess. I think I'm going to fireball the princess. I don't want to play my miner because he's got skeletons back in rotation, so he would probably just, you know, catch it pretty easily. I'm going to need a Goblin Cage because a Mega Minion, usually unless you predict the hog with the Mega Minion, the hog ends up getting 3 hits on your tower, and I do not want to take 3 hog hits. That's way too many when I can just play a Goblin Cage and prevent all of the damage. So he's having to spend a lot. Wow, okay, he just, wow, that was a lot of elixir he just spent. I think I'm going to balloon right now because if I'm not mistaken, he probably has a rocket, and because he doesn't have bats in cycle, he probably has to rocket that balloon, which is a 6-for-5 trade. So again, just forcing more elixir out of him, just making it pretty awkward for him and annoying. And if he goes in for a hog, I'm probably just going to cycle my Mega Minion and then get to a cage. It's annoying that I have to spend so much on the hog because I don't have the cage in cycle, but it's what you got to do because otherwise you're just going to take several hits from the Hog Rider. And now that we're in double, we should be able to keep up with his cycle a little bit better, which is nice. I'm going to go for a balloon. He, of course, is probably going to rocket this, so I'm going to go for a miner, so this way we actually have a tank down, and this is going to force more of a response out of him. Balloon should be able to get death damage here. Wait, is that in range? No, barely wasn't, unfortunately. I'm going to go for a fireball on that princess. Go for a cage on this Hog Rider. Sooner or later, I think we should be able to get, I'm going to go balloon again, and then I think I'm going to miner with it. Honestly, this has been a pretty slow game. I'm going to balloon in the opposite lane, miner the princess. He's going to have to defend both of these. Zap those bats. Oh, let's go. Inferno Drag on the tower. That's why having a good reaction time on bats is so good. Look at that. We melted his tower over halfway just off of an Inferno Drag. That's the thing. With this deck, you don't always need to get damage with a balloon. Inferno Drag can sometimes surprisingly take out a lot of your opponent's tower. Especially if they don't have a reset for it, it can be really annoying. Or if your opponent's just not paying attention sometimes too, you can just end up getting some damage. So I'm going to miner in the front this time because every single one I've played so far has been in the back and he's just been catching it. So this time he's not going to catch it. We're going to go for a Mega Minion on his Mini P.E.K.K.A. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Fireball this Hog Rider back. It's not going to get any hits. Ice Golem last second on the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And then this time we'll send the Miner kind of in the back right. Nice catch on his end. Yeah, at this point we just need to make sure that we don't be too aggressive and kind of throw the game, because we pretty much already won as long as I don't mess up really badly. That rocket got pretty much no value for him. I think it only hit an Inferno Drag if I'm not mistaken. So that we are going to get death damage from this balloon. I think it might even, yeah, it is going to take the tower because rocket was not in rotation. That's a really good matchup for us because even though I have to overspend on his Hog Riders and Princesses sometimes, it still for the most part is pretty easy because he has to overspend on our balloons, and I just feel like since I've zapped for the bats too, it's just sooner or later I'm going to get enough death damage from the balloon, or just get an Inferno Drag to lock on because it's annoying for him to deal with. So found our next game versus Soda. I'll give this guy good luck, and if he doesn't do anything, I'll just start off with the Goblin Cage, but we'll wait a second, see if he just wants to start the game off, but if not, yeah, we'll just go ahead and cycle our Goblin Cage. Pretty safe, you know, starting play. Giant Skeleton could be a lot of different things, but some people are using Giant Skeleton Balloon. There's other, you know, like, could be Giant Skeleton Clone with Cannon Cart Skeleton Barrel. That deck was really popular a couple months ago, but we really just have to see. We don't know yet. Could also be RG Giant Skeleton. So after we the Skeleton Barrel, it's probably going to be Clone. I'm going to apply a lot of pressure because we just killed his Giant Skeleton, got a lot of value out of that. That balloon, I think it's a connection. We do have to zap these, zap the Skeleton Barrel, I mean, so we got to be careful there, but, To be honest, I should have minored. Yeah, my bad. That was, not smart on my end. I should have gone for a... What I mean is I should have gone miner to push the Barbarians off of my tower. I don't know why I didn't do that. If I were to, like, play that situation over again, I would have. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest, or, like, why I didn't do that, but it's all good. I mean, we're still in an okay situation. We're only down a little bit. I know what he's using now, which is good. However, we do need to be really careful because I feel like this matchup is going to be a little bit... It could give us a little bit of a challenge just because, I don't know, we don't really... Even though we got Fireball and Zap, it could still be pretty annoying defending some of his, like, pushes, the clone pushes. So I'm going to go Balloon here, because even though he's got Hunter... Ooh, really bad Hunter. Yeah, that's why I was saying I wanted to go Balloon, because I knew that it would just be annoying for him after he just cycled a Giant Skeleton. He didn't have a lot of Elixir. I don't know if there's any way I can defend this. We'll have to see. Yeah, we're going to have to, for sure, just give up the tower here. There's no way of stopping that. Yeah, we just need to go for defensive. Okay, well, we can still win. We could be in a worse situation. I mean, we're just down a little bit of damage on the right lane. We for sure can still win this. I'm gonna Fireball the Flying Machine just because it's pretty annoying. And then let's see what he wants to do. He's gonna go... GG. Yeah, I think that's a good game. Unless we can, like, somehow... Nah, it's not over yet, because I think he has arrows, most likely. Certainly ain't looking very good, though, that's for sure. He could throw the game, though. We'll see what happens. Arrows come down. Do one more set of arrows do enough? I believe so. Yeah, and yeah, GG. I think this is a pretty hard matchup, if I'm being honest. I'm not saying I played this perfectly, but it's definitely a tough matchup because, yeah, arrows take the tower. I mean, his arrows don't get a lot of value, but I think the reason why it's a bad matchup, in my opinion, is because the clone just gets a lot of value for him. I feel like I don't really just have the best answers for clone. I mean, really the best 2 cards against clone decks are Tornado and Poison, and if you don't have one of those, clone can be a little hard and annoying to stop. But, you know, I could have played it a little better. Maybe my defense could have been better at some situations or points in the game, but I still think it's for sure a good matchup for our opponent. So it looks like we could be against Splash Yard right now. After we see the Knight, we see the Goblin Hut, as well as we saw there was a Bar Barrel too. So I'm going to go for a Balloon because he just used a lot of Elixir. I need to zap this for sure. He's gonna have to. He's either gonna do one of 2 things. He's gonna tornado this to the King Tower, or tornado. Wait, was that a bad tornado? I think that might. No, doesn't connect. It was really close though. If the balloon had slightly more hit points, it would have ended up connecting. But let's see. This is actually a pretty. This could be a little hard. I actually think. In CRL, I remember Surgical Goblin beat Pompeyo in this matchup, where Pompeyo had the Pompeyo deck. The deck I'm using right now, Surgical Goblin, had Splash Yard. The Goblin Hut might make this matchup a little bit, like, just slightly easier for us, just because his cycle is a bit more expensive, and I feel like Bomb Tower is much better against the Balloon, but we'll have to see how it goes, I guess, how this match plays out. We do get ourselves a Balloon connection. And this Baby Dragon's almost dead. I'm just going to go ahead and zap it because otherwise I think it would have ended up getting 2 hits on our tower, and instead it's only going to get 1. We're going to have to try to block the bridge with Goblin Cages and stuff like that. I have to figure out how we want to take out his Goblin Huts. I might just have to go for Fireballs and stuff on it. Yeah, we're going to just Fireball it, I think. Because it's pretty annoying and I don't really know what else to do. I got to wait a tiny bit, and then we're going to go for an Ice Golem. So the Spear Goblin's go on that. I think the key in this match is we need to abuse our Inferno Drag. Let's actually go for Balloon in the opposite lane. You need to apply opposite lane pressure in this matchup for sure, I think. I'll go for an Ice Golem here. See if he... Okay, nice. We block the bridge. That's what I was talking about earlier. If your opponent has Graveyard, it's so important that you block the bridge. Okay, that was an aggressive Poison. Let's go for a Balloon. Nice. Fireball's going to kill the Ice Wizard. Oh my gosh, he misses the Tornado. Let's go, guys. We end up winning versus Splasher Goblin Hut. As I said, I think if he ended up having Bomb Tower, the matchup would have been slightly more difficult, but I still don't think it's an easy matchup because he has Graveyard, which I don't have a ton of responses for, but I did a good job of blocking the Baby Dragon and also applying pressure when I needed to. So you see, not, you know, too bad, but I would say if you're not careful, that can be kind of hard, Graveyard decks. So we found our next game. Let's just wait a second, see if this guy wants to do anything. If not, I'll probably go ahead and, yeah, I'll just cycle my Ice Golem. I think it's fine. And he's going to go Electro Spirit, so I guess I'll go Mega Minion. So Skeleton's Electro Spirit, unsure what this is yet. After we see the Firecracker, there's a pretty good chance that this might be like a Royal Hog deck or something like that. I don't know what else this could be. We'll just have to see. Barbarians come down, so yeah, it's looking like a lot like it could be Royal Hogs, so we need to save our Fireball in this matchup for the Royal Hogs. We also can go Goblin Cage for them as well. We just have to... It's very situational which one's a better response. It kind of just depends on what your cycle is. So let's go for a Fireball and the Firecracker. Let's get Zap ready. Ooh, looks like he's got RG, so it's just going to be RG cycle. We can go for a Goblin Cage and then a Mega Minion. And then if he Fireballs this, I think that's a little bit of an overcommitment on my opinion. So if he were to do that, I would have just gone for a Balloon right after. Okay, he's going to go for Barbarians. To be honest, I think I'm going to go Balloon because he just used a lot of Elixir. Oh, he's got the Hunter though, of course. Hunter is really good against the Balloon. So that's something we got to watch out for them. Yeah, I'm going to zap it. I don't really want the Hunter to get a connection. Alright, let's see here. It's going to go for a firecracker, so I'm going to go ahead and just fireball it. Go for a cage. Yeah, I'm going to Mega Minion. Okay. I think now that we know he's got Hunter, we got to play this a little bit more passively. I am going to fireball that again, though. Because he is starting to cycle earthquakes, I think I'm going to go aggressive with a balloon now. And we can zap that Hunter. I think the balloon's going to get a connection. Yeah, and then the Inferno Drag's on top of his tower as well. I think we won this. Yeah, because RG, I don't think... And the Firecracker goes in the wrong lane. Yeah, there's no way that RG is going to get enough hits to take our tower. So, really nice win there. I think that wasn't... Yeah, that wasn't too bad of a matchup, even though we ended up having Hunter. I think it just was pretty easy still, because Firecracker and Hunter was only air counters, and once we outcycled one of them, it wasn't too bad to get a balloon to the tower. And then on top of that, he also he had Earthquake as a spell, which gets pretty much no value against the balloon. So I think we'll go for one more game. This will be the last game of the video. So we found our next game here. See what if this guy's gonna do anything. If not, I guess we'll just go for a Goblin Cage. It's gonna go Ghost, so I think we'll just Ice Golem this. Ghost could mean P.E.K.K.A, but it could also mean 3M. So probably Royal Hogs. So I'll fireball those. Really good battle ram on his part. I don't have a Goblin Cage in cycle. So the one thing I'm a little concerned about is I'm pretty sure he's got Hunter. So 3M and Hunter, two really good answers to our balloon. So even though his 3M's out of rotation, I can't go Ice Golem Balloon, because if I do that, he's just going to Hunter it most likely. So there would just be no point in doing that. He's got Elixir Collector. I'm going to fireball the Elixir Collector. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think that... Yeah, we got to try to miner his Elixir Collectors ideally, I think, because the Fireball I really want to be using on the 3M if all possible, but... yeah, I don't know. Got to see. I guess we just got to do what we can. Because he was so aggressive, I'm honestly going to go Balloon, I think. This is very aggressive myself, but... do we hit... Oh, I missed one. Whoops. Guess we can just go Miner, though. Miner takes it out without the tower, so good situation for us right now. Wow, he's gonna Elixir Collector? Okay, I'm going in. I'm not even gonna... I'm gonna completely ignore that Elixir Collector. I think that was a very bad play on his end, if I'm being honest, because he's, at this point, really low on Elixir. So he can't even punish that hard, even though I took his opposite tower. That Elixir Collector, and then he goes 3M, and there isn't much time left. I don't know, he's got barely time. Yeah, I don't know about those 3M all the way in the back. I don't think those were the play. That's going to be GG, though. Really nice win to, yeah, in the video. Yeah, nice games. You know, I don't think I've ever made a video on, you know, the Pompeyo deck before. So it definitely was, you know, nice to test it out. 853rd, so not bad. You know, season, I mean, there's still so much time left of the season, so not really too worried about where I'm at. 20 days, 6 hours left of the season. try to finish the best I can. This, of course, is the first, you know, CRL season, so I'm going to try to finish the best I can to get... You get points from your ladder finish and also how well you do in the monthly qualifiers. Top 1,000 make the monthly qualifiers, so really would like to get top 3 this season to get as many points as possible, because my goal is to make it to the World Finals, so I'm going to do as best as I can on ladder this season. That's going to be for the video. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and thanks again until next time, guys.